We then arrived in Hobart, where we took off down to Kingston Beach and thought the best way to see some of the scenery would be on a sea kayak. Probably not my strongest sport. I think Reedy's got a habit of picking sports that he's better than me at.
Kingston Beach, Tasmania, and Benny's going to take us out on the surf skis. I'm going to get out in the ocean and hopefully feel a little bit more in our element as opposed to the big mountains we've been climbing the last few days.
It was actually pretty rough out there. There was a bit of chop. My ski was definitely pretty wobbly, but certainly didn't want to fall in. I know how cold the Tassie water is after the Bay of Fires, and I really wanted to stay dry.
Accommodation for the night was NRMA Port Arthur Holiday Parks, and it did not disappoint. Whip and I were lucky enough to get the stargazing tent, and it's unreal.
This thing looks epic.
I'll just pitch up here. You can bring me some pina coladas. It was pretty cozy in that stargazing tent. I was definitely taking the big bed. Any room for me in there, sweetheart?
No, mate.
Come on, mate. Let us in. We can have a little cuddle.
Get away from me.
The weekend arrived and it was time to put the trail shoes on and tackle the Kunani mountain run. 68k of running over 4,000 metres of elevation. Kunani is the Indigenous name for Mount Wellington, and the course takes the solo runners all the way up to the top of Kunani and then over the back and up and down a whole bunch of other hills and then home, 68k later. A lot of fast looking runners here, eh? I think I'm going to get spat out the back.
I'm excited, I'm not even running. I'll tell you what, I'll be more excited when I'm in the car going up the hill too, rather than running up.
The gun went, and the first leg was pretty much straight up to the pinnacle of Kunani Mountain, which is 1,300 metres of climbing, just straight up. As beautiful as it was just as hard. Nearly at the top, nearly to the first checkpoint. And this is as tough as it gets. Oh, mate, that was hard, eh? 1,300 done. Heaps more to go. But look at this view. Are you kidding me? Rolling into the first aid station, I was feeling pretty good. I got all what I needed and I headed off to the next section of the race. The second section of the race, that's when I realised what I was in for. Tassie's terrain is no joke. From then on, I just needed to come into each aid station and just prepare for what was coming next, which was just more pain and more brutal terrain.
I'm in the horrors. I've got a marathon to go and I'm just buckled, absolutely buckled.
We also had another team of lifeguards take on the relay. 5 stages, 5 runners, equally tough terrain, obviously a lot easier just doing one stage. It was always going to come down to a race between Reedy versus the boys and who could get to the finish line first.
That wrinkly old man's just there. The wrinkly old man's just there, and he's hobbling, and I'm coming. The young buck's coming.
This is your run.
$20k to go. Probably going to be the longest 20k of my life. Coming into the last leg, my spirits were much better. Like the 2 legs before were really, really hard on the mind and the body. So knowing that Clint was going to pass me, I'd kind of got that whole thing in my head out of the way, and I was ready to rip into this last leg and really bring it home. As I made my way down the finish chute, it felt so good to know that I'd actually finished, because there was a lot of moments there where I didn't think I would.
He looked very, very happy with himself.
Even more special was to see all the boys there and the celebration at the finish. It was just a really special time that I don't think I'll ever forget.
We're all so stoked for him, and then he proceeded to do one of the dirtiest shoeies I've ever seen.
We've had just the best road tripping. To get to do it with one of my best mates and do and see some of the things that we've done and seen has just been incredible, and I reckon there's no better way to do it than by car.
Book a car, drive around the island and do as much as you possibly can.